Slaughter to Prevail dropped their new album GRIZZLY. We didn't cover any of the singles except song 3 because
the
that's
Baby Metal song.
Also going to be on the upcoming Baby Metal record that drops in a couple of weeks. And although I've heard a bunch of these songs just over the course of the past several years, because it feels like this record's been rolling out for a couple of years. We've been getting singles every so often, and then Slaughter to Prevail is not a band that I like go out of my way and I listen to the newest Slaughter to Prevail, but it just comes on in my listening because they are one of the juggernauts within the deathcore scene. And, you know, in listening to music that sounds vaguely like this band, it comes on in Spotify radio and things like that. And I'm always intrigued because they have such a unique sound within deathcore where it is just so... It's just so brooding. That's basically where I'm at. It is not melodic in the least bit. They just absolutely pulverize you with riffs and vocals, and sometimes it's not even words. I think it's just Alex groaning and grunting at you.
He does that, yeah.
And honestly, it's fucking awesome. It's so badass. My first time diving into like a full Slaughter to Prevail record, and I came out of it being like, I understand why this band has so much attention on them. They're doing something that's a little bit more unique within the deathcore genre, like I said, and it makes sense that people are paying attention to this and listening to this and are big fans of this. Dude, I think it's incredible. It made me want to run into a wall of people. I know that they attempted the record for the largest wall of death at Incarceration Festival. I don't know if they achieved that or not, but I heard about it listening to Sirius Radio. I can understand why people want to do that to this music. It makes me want to do it. I understand why Alex slams the microphone into his head. It makes me want to do that.
Anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore?
No, because I saw him at Warped Tour and I was waiting for it. He didn't. I was talking to the girl next. I was like, why isn't he hitting his head? And she was like, fuck, I don't know. Like, he should be hitting his head right now, right? And I was like, yeah. And then he just didn't do it. It was fucking, I think probably like a doctor's note or something. I'm like, you're actually causing damage to your skull, man. You probably should do that.
Well, I can understand why he used to do it.
It fucked.
It fucked. I love the way it opens with Banditos, although it does make me think of 21 Pilots.
They fucked up.
Yeah, does make me think of 21 Pilots
you've done.
a little bit. But it's nice to hear the song, and it sounded absolutely nothing even close, even similar to 21 Pilots at all. It is a brooding, almost 5-minute song to kick the record off. Rushing Grizzly in America is a great, 1-2 punch. I'm Dead is an interesting song. It's honestly not one of my favorites on the record. I thought with the Ronnie Radke feature it was going to be higher up there, but it's not a standout for me on the record. I thought that Ronnie's part was really weird and buried and kind of out of place on the song, and the vocals throughout the song were very strange and off-putting, and if that was the point, then mission accomplished. But it just kind of felt like a really strange, out of place, and kind of missed opportunity, considering the song that Alex Terrible did with Falling in Reverse, and Ronnie Ronald is a perfect display of exactly what Alex does vocally on that song, and honestly the entire band, because that part of the song gets absolutely insane.
I'm sorry. I so disagree. I think that song, I'm sorry to interrupt. I think that song was possibly the worst example of Slaughter to Prevail, because the production, it didn't fit in. It was just Alex kind of screaming. It felt so buried in the mix. It didn't really platform him enough, and it felt like it sped by so quickly. Sorry.
Fair enough. To each their own. That's why we have opinions on here. They're not fact.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
I came in way too hard for that.
Wow, you have quite the opinion on Ronald by Falling in Reverse.
I did. I have quite the opinion on Ronald. I have quite.
But I guess in the grand scheme of things, when comparing the two songs, this is just, I feel like this execution is just completely failed across the board. I think that Ronnie could have been utilized in a different way, and honestly, I'm just not impressed by the song at all. Song 3 with Baby Metal, I feel like that's a very nice collaboration. These two bands together make no sense at all, but then you put them together, and Baby Metal always has the ability to have their sound kind of work with whatever they're working with, and this is a prime example, because this Slaughter to Prevail is so heavy. I like the way the record closes with Conflict, Kid of Darkness, and 1984. I think it wraps up very nicely. It's obviously heavy and absolute batshit as you would expect from it, and it ties the record together very nicely. I also like Lift That Shit, because it makes me want to lift shit, pick shit up and put shit down. And that's kind of the vibe I get from this record. It's just pick shit up and put shit down. It's so heavy. It's everything I wanted from Slaughter to Prevail and more. A long time coming, and it absolutely melts my face off, and that's exactly what I wanted from this band. It's not, like I said, not the least bit melodic, and that's typically what I want from anything heavier than my metalcore kind of things. When we get into deathcore and death metal, that's when I'm like, I want it to be melodic. I want there to be something that I can follow. But Slaughter to Prevail does their deathcore in such a way that even though it is just pure chaos and there is no chorus to go find and follow, it's there, but good luck. The songs are still interesting and dynamic enough that it creates for a very unique listening experience, and that is why I still like this record and this band, even though it's not what I would typically gravitate towards on this side of the heavier spectrum.
Before I start, I just want to say I'm not saying any of this shit just to piss you off.
You're gonna tell me you didn't like it.
No, I enjoyed it. Because I was a big fan of Slaughter to Prevail for maybe a year, was when I was really into them. It was just their album, their last full length, 2019. I think it was Kolstlum. I was never able to pronounce it. It's just, it has them on the front, just fucking looking posted up, looking badass as hell. Loved that record. Probably streamed all the songs like maybe like 50 to 100 times each. Like, it was like, for whatever reason, that it just clicked for me, and I was like, I get deathcore now. I understand it. I can't get into any other deathcore bands. I think it's just the mixture of Russian with just deathcore. I feel like they also have something just silly going on with the drums, and I really like the tuning of the guitars and kind of how like prickly and how like sharp they sound. They really pierce through just instrumentals. So I say, I don't know why it really clicked. I'm naming all the reasons why. To me, as you said, and I completely agree, they're doing something different in deathcore. They just have a different vibe that's going on. I think that this record is good. Is it their best work? Maybe I'm hung up on the 2019 record. I don't think it's, for right now, in this very moment, I still prefer Custom. I think that it's a good record. The first half is heavy as shit. I don't know. It has kind of like that hurricane type feel that their last record had throughout the entire thing, where it's just kind of like you get swept up in it, and it's just you get lost in kind of like the tornado of Alex kind of grunting and screaming and shit in your ear, and you don't understand what the fuck's happening, and then all the instrumentals kind of sweeping you up, and it just kind of turns into just this big mess of just heavy music that you're still able to follow. What I really like about Slaughter to Prevail as well is that it's like they don't have choruses that are really melodic, and they don't have the big sing-songy moments where it's like, and now everybody sing. They don't have that. No, far from it. But what they do have is they have very, in my opinion, melodic core of their instrumentals, and that's another thing that I was able to latch onto, and that's another thing that I think adds on to, they just have a different sound going on. They have a different thing going on, because it isn't as deep into the mix as what I've found other deathcore bands have mixed their instrumentals, where it's kind of like vocals are the top instrument, because I think deathcore vocals are an instrument more so like a feature. They're a tool. They're on the same level as the fucking drums, but with Slaughter to Prevail, I feel like you're able to still hear everything clearly while it is kind of sweeping you up, while you are kind of getting a little overwhelmed with like, fuck, there's a lot going on here. The thing is, with the second half of the record, it feels like the storm is dying down, and it feels like the instrumentals take kind of like a step back almost just in the mixing. It feels like they got lowered. And it's really Alex's vocals that are like front and center, which is fine, but maybe I just hit my limit because I was like, I don't even know what you're fucking saying anymore, dude. Like, it's just, but that's the thing. That's the thing with Slaughter to Prevail. They're big because of, the instrumental talent and because of just how fun it is to listen to, the guitarist and the bass and the drums just kind of like go at it. But one of the main reasons why they're Slaughter to Prevail right now is because of Alex's vocals. They stand out. They're very strong. One of the tricks that he does at the show is he puts down his mic and he screams into the crowd and you can hear him from all the way in the back. That's crazy shit. Not everyone can do that. No one tries to do that because you're gonna fucking hurt your vocal cords.
The dude's a superhuman.
It's fucking crazy. So I understand why if that was a choice, but it just kind of felt weird because it was just as I looked up and the record was going on, it was like after Lift That Shit, it kind of felt like it took a slight shift of super heavy fucking hurricane. As I said, it was just kind of like sweeping you up. You really don't know what's going on. It's kind of like almost dragging, and I was just kind of getting bored of it because it felt like it lost energy, I guess is what I'm saying. It was still kicking your ass, but it just felt like maybe it was just a different session. Maybe it was older songs and then the newer songs were at the end. I don't know if that at all. Maybe my brain is doing something, but that's just how I kind of picked it up. Granted, I mean, Kid of Darkness, I did enjoy that, and that's the second to last track. So that is on the second half of the record. I really like song 3 as we reviewed it. I think that song is fucking awesome. I love baby metal. Hot take, I liked I'm Dead. I thought it was fine. Because mainly the reason why I liked it, I mean, I heard it and I went, is that fucking Ronnie Radke? And I looked and it was Ronnie Radke and I said, yeah, I knew you're fucking on this record. Anyways, so I was listening to it and I was like, what I liked about it is he offers that buoy in the sea of there's so much shit going on that you hear clean vocals and you kind of latch onto it and you go, I don't care what the fuck you're saying, but it's like, I need something. I need just to latch onto something. So other than that, I still thought it was a good song. I did think his like mixing was weird. I thought he sounded a little weird. He didn't sound like Ronnie Radke.
The vocals were very compressed.
It was just sounded,
Yeah.
compressed. Yeah. So that was weird. I completely agree with you on that. Where it sounded out of place. But I still thought it was a fun song. I did like 1984. I did I think it was Kochi. I don't know. There was and possibly the intro. There was a song that had like a Russian infomercial, I think. I really like when bands add that type of shit. Again, I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but it just adds kind of just it makes it more into an experience instead of this is one song after another after another after another. I like having those little breaks and moments in between songs. The last person you would expect to have an in-depth review on a deathcore record is
just had one.
Exactly, just had one. All that to say, thought the record was fine.
Yeah.
I maybe just have a soft spot for Costum, but I feel like I'm saying it differently every time. I really don't know how it's pronounced, so I'm just kind of tossing it out there. The last record, the 2019 album, full length. Maybe I just have a soft spot for that, and that's why this one's taking a little more time to grow on me. But I just thought it was fine. Maybe the shtick is wearing off of just how crazy his vocals are, where it's like, no, it's crazy, but like, what? Like, what are you saying? Yeah. It gets old. Badass. He wrestles bears and shit.
He does.
I'm not gonna tell him that shit to his face. No. I'm not gonna be like, we got a little. He's gonna fucking wrestle me. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna lose. All that to say, fine.
Yeah. They're going to be on tour here in the States, supporting Falling in Reverse this fall. So if you're digging this record and you want to potentially see some of the songs live, it is only a support slot, so no guarantees on how many songs. But if you want an opportunity to see these songs live, Falling in Reverse, they are supporting the God is a Weapon tour. So peep the dates on that.